Ha ha! Ha ha! Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Doing for a loop there. Happy Talk That Talk Thursday to each and every one of you. Holy moly, it's crazy. It is awesome to be alive. Not only if you're early adopting a new asset class, holy moly. I mean, how cool is it that we can have Talk That Talk Thursday? So listen, why did freaking Tucker Carlson go to interview freaking Putin? What's going on? Why? This dude is talking about being some crazy stuff from three-letter agencies. Tucker Carlson was talking some crazy stuff about three-letter agencies. By the way, that would be his own country's three-letter agency. You know how stuff goes. I was gonna title it "Should I?" I think I did title the video. Should I play or share the Tucker Carlson interview? Should I share it? Dare I share that? All things considered, we just started recovering from an almost 2-year shadow ban. Dare I play the Tucker Carlson interview with Putin? Dare I play this thing, Alex Sheet? What's good, my guy? Dare I do it? I don't know. Should I play some clips from this thing? I mean, look, it's Talk That Talk Thursday. I'm going to share some clips. Now, the full interview is behind a firewall. A firewall that, I think it's worth having that full interview. I really, really do. I really, really do. The real big Will is in the freaking building. What's good, my guy? Yikes. Oh, I haven't seen it. Is it Cat Williams level? I don't think so. I don't think so. Cat Williams took it to a whole new kind of level. Shout out to Shay Shay. Took that to a whole new kind of level, babe. That was mm, mm. Cat Williams, man. It reminds me of a dude I used to hang out with growing up. Yeah, man. So I don't know. I'm going to share some stuff. We're going to get into it. I think it's interesting that, the dude, Tucker Carlson, straight up said, listen to me. Three-letter agency was listening and tapping into his stuff. Oh man. Yeah, three-letter agency tapping into his stuff. Tried to dissuade the whole interview thing. And a lot of people still think that I don't want to get into the crypto part of it. People just don't understand the capabilities of three-letter agency. They think it's just, dudes in an office underground. They just don't understand. They just don't understand. I always tell people this, a little crypto thing. If the NSA created the SHA-256 thing and all that other kind of stuff, don't you think they created the thing that could take down, put up, reverse, all that stuff that came from that, right? So the SHA-256, the Bitcoin, and then stuff came from that, right? All these other things came from that. So you don't think they have access to all those other things? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Putin, baby, Putin. What's good right now? What's going on? I'm going to share some clips, crazy stuff. Crazy. Look, I have very, 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 very close ties to, the real Putin, okay? Very close. This dude is not a saint. Just forget about that. Not a saint. Just, not a saint, man. Can't, not, no, can't eat. Nope, nope. It just doesn't get that. Just doesn't get that. Look, I would argue the difference between him and others in other powerful nations is one is more upfront about the ills that they do, and the others try to hide it. But it's the same ills, baby. It's the same ills. Trust me. Pookie, what's going on? Celsius, that was just one phase, bro, just to let you know. Or I should say, my friend, that's just one phase. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 phases. So that was just the first distribution. Just to let you know, Pookie's like, what up, C's? That Celsius distribution was trash. Yeah, that's like the first. I think they're going to do 2 or 3. M. Beeb says, of course you should share it. Yeah, so listen, and I'm only thinking from a channel perspective. I mean, he's made it available. He's made clips of it available, and I can share those clips. It's still, I think, going to be very, very interesting to see what our mainstream media, places like YouTube and or Rumble, what are they going to do? What are they going to do when people share it? Because I'm getting ready to share clips from it. I feel like we may need the whole interview, though. I'm going to share some clips. You guys let me know if you want the full interview. Paywall, don't matter. It'll be worth it, I think, for sure. What's going on, Phantom Beat? How are you, my friend? All right, so let me get these clips for you guys here real quick. Let me make sure I got them. First of all, let's make sure we got them. Okay. It's funny to me. It's just, anyway. All right, I'm going to go from the bottom, and then we'll just go up to the top. It's some brutal questions. All right, here we go. Where am I at? Let's go here. Let's go share. That's fair, baby. Share. That's fair, baby. All right, let's go. Tucker Carlson, they made a big to-do. Mainstream media was trying to call Tucker Carlson the second coming of the Antichrist. Like, how dare calling him Putin's buddy and Trump's pal and all kind of blasphemy because the dude just wanted to go and interview somebody. Tucker Carlson himself said that let me let you guys listen to what Tucker Carlson said about the 3-letter people first. Let me see if I can find that. Why do I feel like sometimes I spell his name wrong? Is it TuckerCarlson.com or is it Tucker Carlson Network.com? No, that's not. Is that it? Yeah, it is. All right. Take a listen. 4 minutes. So
we're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously. So we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the US dollar. These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like.
And that is such an alarming statement. He says most of the world understands this. It's just the US that doesn't understand it. That is alarming. Almost as alarming as people not knowing how to use the XRPL DEX. What the world? That's alarming, that statement. People in Asia and the Middle East, they all understand this. But it's the US citizens who don't quite understand the significance and other stuff that comes along with this war. Most Americans just think it's the good guys versus the bad guys and don't know which one is which. It's kind of alarming.
And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that as nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they have done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews. They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe and pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this, promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand. Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in, and we have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves. We took no money from any government or group, nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can. And then, like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself. Thanks.
All right. So there that was. I mean, he said it about the three-letter agency. I mean, I didn't say it. He said it. He said you could watch it. It's not behind a paywall. It's not up yet. But let's go to some clips from that. Already joined the team. Already joined the team. So let me go to the chat before I do that. Winston P. Prescott is in the building. What's going on? Oh, without question. Without question. Trust me, I have sub first knowledge of that dude. My guy. Sub first knowledge. First hand knowledge. Dano says, watch the Meet Kevin live. Yeah, I saw he did a live. What Dano, what's going on, my friend? What's in the Meet Kevin live? Is it just him going over the interview? Is the full interview there? Because it's not on tuckercarlson.com yet. Let's go over a few clips. Tucker Carlson Network. Tucker asked Putin about jailed Wall Street journalists. I thought that guy died. Didn't he die? I don't remember. Let's see.
His motherland. By the end of the day, it does.
I just got to ask you one last question, and that's about Evan Gershkovich, who's the Wall Street Journal reporter. He's 32, and he's been in prison for almost a year. And I just want to ask you directly if, as a sign of your decency, you would be willing to release him to us and we'll bring him back to the United States.
We have done so many gestures of goodwill out of decency that I think we have run out of them. We have never seen anyone reciprocate to us in a similar manner. However, in theory, we can say that we do not rule out that we can do that if our partners take reciprocal steps.
What makes this different is the guy's obviously not a spy, he's a kid. And maybe he was breaking your law in some way, but he's not a super spy, and everybody knows that. And he's being held hostage in exchange, which is true. With respect, it's true, and everyone knows it's true. So maybe he's in a different category. Maybe it's not fair to ask for, somebody else in exchange for letting him out. Maybe it degrades Russia to do that.
He was receiving classified, confidential information, and he did it covertly.
I mean, this is a 32-year-old newspaper reporter.
He committed something different. He's not just a journalist. I reiterate, he's a journalist who was secretly getting confidential information. I do not rule out that the person you refer to, Mr. Gershkovich, may return to his motherland. By the end of the day, it does not make any sense to keep him in prison in Russia.
I hope you let him out.
All right, so that's one interview. Here's another one. One clip from that interview. Who blew up Nord Stream? Oh, boy. He's not going to let that journalist go.
You person...
Who blew up Nord Stream?
You for sure.
I was busy that day. Nate, do you have I did not blow up Nord Stream. Thank you, though.
You personally may have an alibi, but the CIA has no such alibi.
Do you have evidence that NATO or the CIA did it?
I won't get into details, but people always say in such cases, look for someone who is interested.
But I'm confused. I mean, that's the biggest act of industrial terrorism ever, and it's the largest emission of CO2 in history. Okay, so if you had evidence, and presumably given your security services, your intel services, you would, that NATO, the US, CIA, the West, did this, why wouldn't you present it and win a propaganda victory?
In the war of propaganda, it is very difficult to defeat the United States, because the United States controls all the world's media and many European media. The ultimate beneficiary of the biggest European media are American financial institutions. Don't you know that? So it is possible to get involved in this work, but it is cost prohibitive, so to speak. We can simply shine the spotlight on our sources of information, and we will not achieve results.
It says full video on tuckercarlson.com. Am I missing something? Let me go back here again. I don't see that. Is it the interview? Okay, maybe that's right here. The most powerful interviews around the world. Says Vladimir Putin. That might be it there. All right. So this is probably it here. It is it. All right. So this is definitely going to get it's 2 hours. Oh, the 2 hour interviews on YouTube. 2 hours. Yeah, we're not gonna listen to 2 hours, but okay. Putin number two. Felix, what's going on, my friend? Better than the previous one. Oh, he breaks it down. Yeah. Meek Kevin's an interesting character. Felix is in the building. How are you, my friend? James Bond, what up? Let's see. Let's see. CIA don't want to be left out. I'm gonna play a couple more of these clips. We'll see. We're gonna see about the whole demonetization. We'll see what's gonna go on with this with this video, because I'm pretty sure something's gonna go on here. But anyway, let's see here. What do I need to do? Let's do this. Here we go. And then go here. Putin reveals which world leader crushed the Ukrainian peace treaty. What the world?
But do you think at this point, as of February 2024, he has the latitude, the freedom to speak with you or your government directly about putting an end to this, which clearly isn't helping his country or the world? Can he do that, do you think?
Why not? He considers himself head of state. He won the elections. Although we believe in Russia that the coup d'etat is the primary source of power for everything that happened after 2014. And in this sense, even today government is flawed. But he considers himself the president, and he is recognized by the United States, all of Europe, and practically the rest of the world in such a capacity. Why not? He can. We negotiated with Ukraine in Istanbul. We agreed. He was aware of this. He even put his preliminary signature on the document I am telling you about. But then he publicly stated to the whole world, we were ready to sign this document, but Mr. Johnson, then the Prime Minister of Great Britain, came and dissuaded us from doing this, saying it was better to fight Russia. And we agreed with this proposal. And the fact that they obeyed the demand or persuasion of Mr. Johnson, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, seems ridiculous and very sad to me.
Oh man, listen. if some things like these seem like whatever, I highly encourage people. If it's like woo, like what, like no way, this kind of stuff goes on, I highly encourage you to read the book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It's two books. It'll shine some light, right? Because I think awareness is everything. This whole idea of the things that we're not capable of dealing with, that are kind of centered around the truth, and there's this entity or entities in the alphabet group who think that we can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff's got to go.
The US dollar, which has kind of united the world in a lot of ways, maybe not to your advantage, but certainly to ours. Is that going away as the reserve currency, the universally accepted currency? How have sanctions, do you think, changed the dollar's place in the world?
To use the dollar as a tool of foreign policy struggle is one of the biggest strategic mistakes made by the US political leadership. The dollar is the cornerstone of the United States power, but they won't stop printing. What does the debt of $33 trillion tell us about? As soon as the political leadership decided to use the US dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake. Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. Do you even realize what is going on or not? Does anyone in the United States realize this? What are you doing? You are cutting yourself off. All experts say this. Ask any intelligent and thinking person in the United States what the dollar means for the US. You're killing it with your own hands.
Pookie said, I read the first book when you recommended it a while. a while ago. Very good read. Awesome, bro. Awesome. He says, wow, finally someone says it. And isn't it interesting that because we're in the digital asset space, let me stop the share here. Because we're in the digital asset space, we kind of know about this stuff. Do you realize? I told a story and I kind of joked. Every now and then I'll connect or I'll hook up, reach out to some of my boys, back in my air traffic controller days that are, still trading time for dollar deal. And I'll just say, won't you be talking or whatever? Like, it's amazing to think about who they don't know and what they don't know about what's going on. Like, a lot of people don't even know that the dollar is the world reserve currency in this country. Like, they don't know it, that it's the world reserve currency. They don't know that. I don't know if it's bad if you don't know who Joe Rogan is. I don't know if it's bad if you don't know who Tucker Carlson is or who is Patrick Bet David. But the world reserve currency, and it's interesting. I'm telling you. The country has been conditioned to just be entertained, keep the head in the sand. And when you're done just being entertained, if we feel like you're kind of done with being entertained, we'll put distractions in front of you to keep you distracted. Like racism, sexism, like just all this transgender nonsense. Let's keep them distracted so that they don't know, so that they don't start paying attention to what we are really doing. Vast majority of people outside of crypto, especially, don't know that the dollar is being just completely devalued. Don't know that they should be looking for an alternative source of currency. Don't know. Almost blindly feel like that somehow they're going to be taken care of. Don't know. So I saw something just as kind of crypto related from the capitalist guys, the Black Swan. It's Black Swan. And I could swear, Keyless, that the dude said, my source told him, the IMF told him, my source and the IMF in conversation told him about XRP and this price thing. Like, that's an interesting statement. A lot of people in XRP don't even know about back in the day, Keyless. They don't know about back in the day when Brad and Chris and some others from Ripple were meeting with the IMF. They don't remember that. I mean, they don't remember. They don't know that. Right? They don't know that. That's exactly right, Keyless. Keyless says a lot of people live in their own cocoons. They go to work, come home, eat dinner, and get on TikTok. Yeah, or Instagram. Yeah, the devaluing has been going on for a long time, Felix. You're right. Felix says dollars devaluation has been in the making, has been long in the making. Been hearing about that for a decade and a half. Yeah. That's what it's at 97, 98%. Right? That's why it's always feels like, in addition to inflation, your dollar's just not going anywhere because inflation, but it's just lost its buying power. Right? I mean, the macro guys know this, right? But the macro guys who are maybe from Burns, from JP Morgan, Goldman's, these people, but they don't share it. Like, they don't share it. Raul Paul, Tika Tawari, that's just a couple of people. Like Dan Moorhead is not sharing that. Raul's good buddy, I forget his name, he doesn't share it. Like they come together, they hang out at different places. And Raul is really and Tiki Kawari is really the only two out of a bunch of them that know all kind of macro stuff. Really, Raul, that's the one willing to share it. The reality of what's really, really going on. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So it turns out that the interview is there on tuckercarlson.com, the full interview, and it's not behind a paywall. So I stand corrected. I thought that it was. Let's see if there's another clip. But that, Putin speaking about the reserve currency and the fact that we are, quote unquote, killing ourselves. I mean, you and I know it, but the masses don't know. The masses, they don't know. Like, they don't know. But that whole IMF statement to me, again, from the Black Swan brothers, I don't know. Like, I feel like on one hand, why would they lie? What does it serve them to do that? Like, but he said that the dude said it was in the thousands of dollars. The price had already been determined, and it was in the thousands of dollars. And that's just it's an interesting statement to hear. It's an interesting statement to hear. But I always ask this question. I'm going to get back to Tucker here. The U.S. is intentionally devaluing the dollar. I think everyone can agree here that they're doing it, intentionally devaluing the dollar, printing and all this other madness. What is their game plan after it's done? Unreconcilable debt and just an inability to pay it off. What is their plan? They have to have a plan. What is their plan? Right? What is their plan? And does it involve, the asset XRP? And why would it involve the asset XRP? There's a new currency coming to USA and the United States. No, I remember hearing that. Right? Because I often sit back and think, why hasn't anyone asked Chris or Brad or David? Brad Garlinghouse, you don't want to ask Brad Kimes anything. So why would no one ask either one of those three guys? How can XRP help with the United States debt? How can the U.S., how can the XRP help the dollar? Like these kind of questions. Can it help the dollar? What can it? Can it do that? And for me, we ask this question on the channel all the time. Why would the IMF, like the World Bank's people, why would they be meeting with a fintech company from San Francisco? The pictures are there. The pictures are there. And it was at least 2 occasions. It might have been 3 separate occasions, but it was at least 2. Why? Can anyone make sense of that? Is it because you can't meet with anyone from Bitcoin? Well, you can. I guess you can. I mean, they have a foundation. You certainly could meet with the people from Ethereum. I mean, Joe Lubin is always willing to, sell his soul, right? We all know that. And surely Vitalik, if he could just get some U.S. stuff, he would. Sure. Can you get me in the U.S.? Can you get me? right? So he could have met with any of those two. Algorand people could have met with the Algorand, Hedera Hashgraph people, right? Uh, right? Stellar Lumens people, right? We could have met with any of them. I just, isn't that still the $64 trillion question? We designed that for this channel. That's the $64 trillion question. Why is the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, whatever IMF stands for, why are they meeting with some people from a fintech company out of San Francisco? Like, you understand? I don't, I like, right? I feel as though there's some presidents of nations. I feel like there's some presidents of some nations that have not met with the IMF. Maybe it's a small nation, but still a nation. Like there's small countries, nations, whatever. They're not getting a meeting with the IMF. Yet a fintech company from San Francisco gets a meeting. Not once, but twice, and I think it was 3 times. Why? What is that about? Did they just want to learn about the technology and steal it, just like, some other people did once before, steal the technology? Is did they learn some stuff and then get it to the BIS, and so you could do this M-bridge thing? Like, what was that about? You know what I mean? What did the IMF see in that technology? It's still, for me, it's the $64 trillion question. I mean, it's still, they didn't meet with Charles Hoskinson from Cardano. He's a smart guy. He didn't meet with Gavin Wood, previously of Ethereum, now at Polkadot. Smart people. It's interesting stuff. It really is. It's just one of those things that just it just, I don't know. It could be could they try to get some information? But I think if more people really knew, like, I feel like there's a bunch of people in crypto who don't know that. Like, and the whole, the central banks meetings, where it was a meeting of all of the central bankers, and not all of them, but most of them, a lot of them. And Brad sitting at the front of the table. And at the time, the head of the IMF is sitting in the audience. That is an interesting thing to me, man. It's interesting to me. But back in the present administration days, when I was doing live streams, I always made the statement, are we in the US? I mean, this is 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe. Are we in the US going to allow this technology to be used in Saudi Arabia and the UAE and Dubai, whatever, and in Japan and in these other nations to better their system, their banking system? And we in the US are not going to use it? Like, you know what I mean? Like Japan and Qatar has got these 58, 68 banks. How many of these banks? He's determined to get those banks on the ledger using XRP, holding it, right? The Saudi Arabia deal, UAE, parts of India, whatever, right? And we're not going to use it. It just seems odd. to me. Seems I've said it. I said it so many times. We're going to let a United States born and bred company who happens to oversee the escrow, a big contributor to this XRPL, and steward of the escrow. They're letting us use it everywhere else outside of the US, and it's doing what it does for these other nations, and especially in the banking thing, and we're not going to use it. Just kind of doesn't make sense to me. What do you think about Magnetic X? I like Magnetic X. I've used their decentralized exchange, and I've used their bridge. Are you staking your mag? Are you running a miner? Yeah, but I like it. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, that was kind of my thing. I still think it's a $64 trillion question. Why in the world is the IMF meeting with the people from Ripple? The IMF is busy. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, how many tokens is it of the mag is there? I looked into getting that token. How many mags are there? So do you know, bro? Let's play another clip here. I just, keyless, it's hard for me to understand. There's only 4K of the token. Oof. That sound like a little bit like Yearn Finance. You remember Yearn Finance, the YFI token? 4,000 total. That's what? So did you use their bridge? Did you go from the XRPL to Zahao and back? Okay, let's see if this is no. The question is, when was the last time that Biden and Putin spoke?
I have my own things to do. We have domestic political affairs.
When was the last time you spoke to Joe Biden?
I cannot remember when I talked to him. I do not remember.
You don't remember?
No. Do I have to remember everything? I have my own things to do. We have domestic political affairs.
Well, he's funding the war that you're fighting, so I would think that would be memorable.
Well, yes, he funds, but I talked to him before the special military operation, of course. And I said to him then, by the way, I believe that you are making a huge mistake of historic proportions by supporting everything that is happening there in Ukraine by pushing Russia away. I told him repeatedly, by the way.
What did he say?
Ask him, please. It is easier for you. You are a citizen of the United States. Go and ask him. It is not appropriate for me to comment on our conversation.
But you haven't spoken to him since before February of 2022?
No, we haven't spoken.
That's interesting. Anyway, he's back. That's okay. That's interesting stuff there. Well, look, the full interview is available, and that's good to know as well. But how many of you guys appreciate, I'll ask this question before I get up. How many of you guys appreciate Tucker doing this interview? Well, the XRP is open source technology. You don't need anyone's permission, Felix, to build on there. It's certainly not a private club. Yeah, you don't need anyone's permission. So, yeah, how many of you guys appreciate what Tucker's doing? I mean, I think it's needed. I bet you that interview is something. I can't cover it all tonight, but maybe another Talk Thursday. We needed to expose what we already know to be true. Tucker has an audience. He indeed does. I respect him for what he's doing. I really do. I respect him for what he's doing. You know, I mean, truth sometimes is painful. You know, sometimes the truth is painful. It doesn't take away, I don't think, so much how awesome this country is and can be and has been, but I do think the more we are aware of truths, the better we are, you know, for sure. I mean, right now, think about it from a crypto perspective. This whole ETH thing is turning into something massive. It's turning into something really, really massive, for sure. I think it's Felix says, I think it's a milestone that Tucker did that. I do too. And I applaud him for doing it. And I appreciate him putting up that interview for everyone to see on tuckercarlson.com, it's a website. And of course he's going to be able to put it on an X as well. Jungle Link's in the building. What's going on, my guy? Yeah. Hillary. Yeah, Hillary. What's going on, Jungle? So I mean, I applaud Tucker for doing what he's doing. I really, really, really do. It's a great day today in crypto. I think Times didn't curse anybody out, or I mean, it's always great when that doesn't happen, right? Call anyone bottom feeders, suggest they got mental family issues. That's always a good day when we don't have to deal with that nonsense. Milestone of the century, says FactSet. I love it. So yeah, I think what Tucker's doing is awesome. Talk Thursdays is a lot of times we get outside of crypto and we talk kind of geopolitics and stuff like that. You don't have to be part of any freedom zones. You don't have to be part of any non-freedom zones, right? You could just talk. Altcoin is pumping. Which one, Felix? All alts. So, Jungle, you gonna get that dot meme coin, bro? Come on, Jungle. Jungle, you gonna get the polka dot meme? Are you gonna get that meme, Jungle? I know about you and mine as well. Come on, bro. Are you gonna get the meme? Are you gonna get that meme, bro? Oh, Pendle, really? Pendle's pumping. I have, one of my guys, my go-to guys, Virtual Bacon. It feels like whenever he does video on something, stuff seems to move. You guys would pay attention to Virtual Bacon. Dude's a smart dude, and he's a humble guy. Interesting. Pendle Finance is OG, man. I guess it's an OG nowadays in crypto. What's up, Jungle? Let me know what's up, man. You gonna get that? Are you gonna get that meme, bro? It's the polka dot has been listening. They've been listening to Solana. They've been listening to Avalanche. I'm down to gamble on what? I can't. My thing is messed up. On some dot meme coins, yeah. Well, they're pushing that one right now, right? So, yeah, they're following. They're following Solana. Look, you got to pay attention. Like people. I say this all the time, not all the time. I've been saying this lately. Like a lot of people in the community seem to think that it's better to look good than to how good your wallet looks. Like they think it's better to look pretty, but they don't look at how ugly the wallet might look. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it. You want to look good, but the wallet is looking tore up. The wallet's looking tore up, but hey, the portfolio You know, the money that's just there that ain't there, that looks good. Oh, wait a minute. My thing looks pretty because partnerships, because of meetings. It looks good, but the wallet, the wallet don't look so great. Meanwhile, the meme coiners, the meme coiners don't look good, but boy, does the wallet look good. I don't know. Shiba Inu, Doge, dog with hat. Yeah. Flair is pumping as well. Yes. Jungle's in the house, says Keyless. Yep, he's in the house. Dead to the Heaven. Is that the one? Is that the one? Because I know that they were doing they wanted to, they're following Avalanche. You see, Avalanche got a little criteria, got a little fund. Avalanche has like $100 million fund dedicated to this whole thing with criteria. They're pushing that one meme. They're taking the playbook straight from Solana. Now, what did that Solana meme coin and Sheeb and Doge meme coin do? It created a big time loyal community and thus created network adoption. It created network adoption. There's people today still have Shiba Inu. Today. They still holding Shiba. I got rid of my Shiba after about a 3 to 4x. I was like, thank God for the 3 or 4x because I wasn't there in the early days beginning. I know about DED coin. If you have more, let me know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. The only one I just saw, I read something about Polkadot and they had this one meme. You're probably right. It is probably dead to the heavens. It's that meme. Yeah, they're just following the playbook, create network adoption. And what they're doing, what I discovered, what Solana is doing is they're using the meme coin to create this loyal community, and then they're building utility around the meme coin. Yeah, and then they're coming up with use cases for the meme. Like it's really, really smart because they just playing the narratives. You play the narratives. So it's just a form of advertising. That's all it is. The narratives is just a form of advertising. It's all it is. The narratives, form of advertising, get that community, get them loyal, whatever. Just like the airdrops, it's just a form of advertising. It's all it is, right? And then you go create this utility behind that thing, and then you keep the community in the community. It's just, So anyway, Avalanche got their thing, right? And $100 million, $100 million for the meme coin fund, 100 million. That's heavy right there. That's heavy. Now, I was airdrop farming, so I got airdrop the Solana meme coin, right? So Polkadot's doing the same thing. I'm excited about Polkadot 2.0, Jungle. I'm excited about that. Conflux. I don't know what Conflux is. I'm so excited about Polkadot 2.0. We'll see. DED coin. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because I read something about Polkadot. I was really kind of excited to hear that they were doing that meme thing because there's some people in the community who just are the idea or the notion of a meme coin is just I'm an XRP holder. I'm an XRP holder. I'm meme coins. I don't get it. Polkadot is DED. Okay. All right. Thank you, bro. So it's so interesting too, because I invested in a project that their project is centered around, think about this, three things: Telegram bot, okay? Telegram bot, hugely popular, these Telegram bots, right? Rollbit is for one, Maestro another. So Telegram bot, trading, leverage trading, massively popular, and meme coins. They built a platform around those three, and they built it where it's a tool for discovering new meme coins, being able to check into the data of this new project, so whatever, and then you can trade the meme coins and leverage with the bot. They teach you how to use the bot. They give you the data on the meme coins. It's like a one-stop deal. So it's covering all three of its three narratives: Telegram bots, meme coins, leverage trading. Right? Have you guys been paying attention? All the perp decks are coming out. It's every time you turn around, it's a new perpetual dex, right? One of the latest and greatest is Drift, right? In the Solana ecosystem, right? So these perpetual dexes, right? That little leverage, they're popping up one after the other. Boop, 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 boop. So this platform decides to just leverage all three things. I think it's genius in motion. I really do. I think it's genius in freaking motion. And they got a revenue model going on right now that's, 5% in, 5% out type deal. Interesting. But they got a little revenue model going, right? And they do weekly spaces every week. They got a really, really sharp guy who comes out there, which I think is interesting. I just became eligible to be able to use this bot. I'm not a leverage trader, but I'm gonna probably pop my head in there and see what's good. But that you got to create network adoption for stuff to work, in my opinion. It's about network adoption. Oh, by the way, listen, the EVM sidechain integrated into the XRPL is going to be a game changer. In case you guys missed my last 3, 4, 5 videos, it is going to be a game changer. Let me tell you something. Projects are going to be standing in line like around the corner, like the proper party in New York. Watch. And Jungle, we get to be there early. Do you guys realize we get to be early on the Uniswap of the XRPL? We get to be early on the Aave, the money market of the XRPL. We get to be early to the curve finance of the XRPL. We don't know which one's going to be the one, but we get to be early. I just found out today the validators for this sidechain are going to be paid in XRP. The fees are going to go to, and it's going to be XRP fees. It's going to them. It's not an XRPL project. I'm telling you, fam. I'm telling you. But it's not going to happen without network adoption, which means it's not going to happen without community participation. And I'm so curious as to see what is Ripple X Dev and the foundation. I'm curious to see what they got for incentives. I'm curious to see what are they going to do. How are they going to create a loyal, screaming? In business we say this all the time. A loyal, screaming fan, we call it. Loyal screaming fan. What are the XRPL Foundation and this Ripple X Dev, what they got planned? It's gonna be fascinating to see. I've seen them. I've been in other spaces. I mean, other platforms, other blockchains. It's gonna be interesting to see what they come up with. It can't be just a liquidity pool. They're gonna have some liquidity pool events, right? And so it's gonna be interesting to see what that's gonna look like. How are they gonna do it? Are they gonna shy away from 3-figure and 4-figure pools because of how it looks in terms of APR? Are they going to come in at 2 and 3% because it looks better? Does the 3 and 4-figure APRs hurt? It's going to be interesting to see. It really is. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's a 0x leverage, Felix. 0x leverage. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes. But I'm excited about it. The Uniswap of the XRPL with the next level AMM, a next level. It's not just an AMM family. It's not just the regular OAMM. It's not. It's different. It's new technology. But they got to get those liquidity pools right. They got to get stable in there, right? They got to have the right incentive program going on. By the way, I've been telling you guys for months now about Moy Finance. They will be integrating the EVM sidechain. Moy Finance got a DEX. I got a swap feature on there. I got 4 liquidity pairs on there already. They got a VE Moy that you're earning. VE, voting escrow token. Powerful. It might go 3-3. Might take a little page out of Andre Cronje. They might. I don't know. That's what, Curve kind of, he was kind of like the inventor of Curve Finance. So I don't know. They got VE going on right now. So they might take a page out of that. Maybe take a combination of Convex Finance and Curve Finance. And maybe being on that platform early might be hugely beneficial. Just like being on early platforms in Solana. And Cosmos, by the way, don't sleep on the Cosmos ecosystem. I know this is Talk That Talk Thursday, but don't sleep on the Cosmos thing just because they're quiet. Don't sleep on that business model. Yeah, don't sleep. So dead, yeah. So Jungle, you tell me you get this. Tell me you hit me up when you get that meme coin, and I'll get it. Hit me up. Hit me up. Let me know when you get it, and I'll get it. Because I got the Avalanche one, and I got the Solana one. Not Bonk. Not Bonk. Yeah, hit me up, John. Help me up, buddy. You and mine as well. You and mine as well. Mine as well. Better get that meme, man. Polkadot coming into it. I love it. And by the way, the XRP community has a meme. A meme project has started on the XRP. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money, but I got some. I got some. I've seen the evolution. The meme space has evolved. In my humble opinion, the meme space has evolved. You can look pretty if you want. All right, Bear. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. That's a Talk That Talk Thursday. I'm going to wrap it up. I got some airdrop farming to do. It's been a really cool hang, Felix. I appreciate you checking in. 0x leverage. Keyless Jungle Link. I appreciate you checking in, my guy. Always an honor, man, when you check into the stream, bro. What does that say? GGG. Facts Vet. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate that. Good to see you on the xmagnetic.org. Good to see that you're on there, Facts Vet. Good to see that. We need more people hopping on XRPL stuff. You know, if you just go to xmagnetic.org and connect your wallet, you're on the ledger, man. You're on the XRPL, just in case you didn't know. If you got the Xammon thing and you swap, you get some XRP for some other thing, you're on the XRPL. Pookie, thank you so much for checking in. Rodwell Nobrega, I missed you checking in, my guy. Appreciate you checking in. James Bond checked in. Dano checked in. The Real Big Will. Winston Prescott, I appreciate you checking in, bro. Phantom B, MBs, I appreciate you being here. And Alex Sheep, the OG, appreciate you checking in tonight, guys. Listen, I'm going to end this live stream like I do all of my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that is okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this and perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.